Welcome to my morning coffee. Always bold, hot, and full of flavor. Nydia and Tonya are my morning coffee. What's in your cup?
Yo, shake ain't shaking that much this morning. What's up?
Girl, you know, this bulging disc pain is got me not grooving and moving and grooving like I normally do, but I'm gonna get it right. It's gonna get right.
I hope so. Well, hey guys, welcome to another edition of My Morning Coffee, where the conversation is always hot, bold, and full of flavor and organic. Oh my God, the conversation today will be so organic because we have for you someone that does not believe in anything that isn't. Okay, let's just put it that way. But before we jump into that, Miss Gia, what's in your cup? Oh, wait, let me see that again.
See that?
Oh, yeah, nice. That's nice.
Yeah. I thought I'd bring y'all some, nice cups every now and then. I have coffee in my cup, y'all. Monday and Wednesday, I have coffee. Now Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, I don't know what I had. Sometimes I had something else, but I got coffee.
Lying. She don't even drink like that.
I know. I be trying to sound all hip and like I'm cool and stuff and everything.
You know who we got on the show today? Okay, no lying today.
I know, no lie. I know he gonna get my life right. But yeah, I haven't been up to much since we last seen each other. Just really, just kind of taking it easy. I actually got my collection in. The actual t-shirts showed up this week. So I wore one yesterday. I wanted to try it on and everything. And I'm by no means, I'm not a model. That's Jeff and my bonus son and my grandson. They're the models in the family. I'm nowhere near the model. So I try to take a few pictures, but they was all right, and stuff. But yeah, I just wanted people to see it. So yeah.
So I saw you in your shirts and I thought they were super cute.
Yeah.
So if you guys go look at Gia's social media, you will see her in her Shein Empower You line of shirts. Super cute.
Yes. And also you can people were asking, you don't have to necessarily go to their website anymore. I have a link on my website, www.themahoganybox. You can click on the shirt and it'll take you directly to their website to purchase the shirt or the shirts, because it's 6 of them. Y'all going out there and get them. Let's sell it out. And I know some people have been asking about the sizes. I was only able to do one category. When they invite you to be a Shein X designer, you have to pick a category. So I had chose just the standard size, small through large. And I wasn't trying to forget about my plus size people, but I can only do one. So, but if you guys wanted in plus size, when you see my post, tag, tell Shein, let them know that you want plus sizes, and maybe I can go back in and do another run, and they can do a plus size run. So yeah,
I think it's really cool how now that our audience, any of them that are designers or small business, are looking to learn how to expand or collaborate with a larger brand. Now that's something that you bring to the table. So understand who your connections are, understand, who you can be in contact with and ask for help. Here's Jeff letting us know the website in case y'all know Gia got a lot going on. So I have been sending people to her other website. That's my bad. But this is the one she launched.
Beginning of the year. Yeah.
Beginning of the year. And go on over it. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and take a look at let's take a look at that one more time for you guys that haven't seen it yet. All right.
heard a voice that told me I'm essential. How all my fears are limiting my potential. Said it's time to step into the light and use every bit of the power I have inside. And so what you waiting on? Who you waiting for? You don't take a chance, you'll never know what's in store. Just do you. Somebody's got to be a star. Just do you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do a whole show because the face didn't really go with the music, but okay.
Yeah, you know, well, when you get yours, Tonya, we've already got it on our plate, on our calendar for you to do a whole shoot. So so y'all look out for Tonya. She's gonna be rocking. Now, if you guys didn't know, Tanya's like really, she's an ambassador for the Mahogany Box. So you know, we'll get some pictures with Tonya in some of the gear. I'm wearing one of the shirts today. See, this is the one I'm wearing. It said uplift her, you know, so and it's kind of appropriate because, you know, our guest today, he's gonna get y'all life right and everything, and hopefully uplift some of y'all out there. So yeah, so it's kind of appropriate that I have this shirt on today.
Yes, it is.
But you know me, I'm about uplifting us as women. We don't do a lot of that all the time. We haven't been doing it, and I've always been about, you know, about that, about lifting other people and other women. So that's part of my collection, why I came up with the whole Empower You, because, you know, as women, we take on a lot, we do a lot, and sometimes we kind of overdo it overdo things, and sometimes we need a lift, a pick me up, and we don't know how to sometimes be about ourselves. We're always about other people, and we have to be about ourselves. So, you know, I want you to empower yourself.
I have a question to ask you, but I'm going to get into it once we bring on our guest. I have our vintage, I'll call it vintage Mahogany Box, designed my morning coffee cup this morning, because I had a conversation with Miss Sarita last week, and we might be having some stuff to celebrate soon. So you guys just stay connected.
Yeah, stay connected.
Stay connected. So
all right, well, what's been in your cup, Tonya?
Oh,
before we get to our guest, what's been in your cup? See, y'all, you see how she tried to like slide on by? She always try to do that. She try to slide by, but I got her this morning. What's in your cup, girl?
So it's coffee, but that's because I got some new offerings. Listen, I have a drop for y'all too on Monday. So
hey.
I'm not going to let you in on it, but it's something I've been working on. It's something that is taking a lot of me, right? But I'm gonna give it to you on Monday. So just stick around and I'll release it then. But you know, everything that's, you know, that is worth experiencing takes a lot of work, takes a lot of time, effort, and energy. And I'm a little depleted, but I have a feeling that it's gonna be a good thing. So check back on Monday. I'll let you know. Other than that, baseball. That's my life.
All right. Well, y'all check back Monday. You see, she ain't told me either, so I guess I'm about to check back Monday.
Yes! I didn't tell you either. No.
Yeah, so y'all know it must be something really good because she ain't even told me. So
she's gonna be like, "What?" Okay. So, without further ado, we keep talking about authenticity. It has a lot to do with truth, not just the truth, speaking it out of your mouth, but living in your truth, understanding what that looks like. Sometimes you don't know the truth, right? You got to figure it out and find out some answers. But this person that we are, I mean,
no, people be knowing the truth. They don't want to live.
I don't know. Some
and
people
deal with the
don't
truth.
know.
But go ahead. Some
people don't know. Like, okay, so we were talking about love earlier today, my little Twitter family. And, you know, we got on the Will and Jada thing. I'm going to ask you something about that. And we were talking about, well, she loves him. I was like, maybe she doesn't know how to love. Maybe she does not know what selfless love looks like. Who taught you how to love? Your experiences teach you how to love. So when you say you love someone, yeah, you think that's what it is, but is that truly what love is? Do you know how to be selfless? So when I say maybe they don't know, because we're all a culmination of our experiences. So if the only thing you've experienced is abuse or some kind of trauma that you've never resolved, to you, that's love.
Well, yeah, and love to me could be different than love to, you know, my spouse. The way I think I'm loving him or her might be different than, they might not feel that way. So love is different, I think, for everybody. But we'll get back to that because, yeah, okay.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and bring on someone that can help us maybe understand this.
Yeah.
Coach Randy, what's up?
Hey, how y'all doing? Thanks
Hey,
for having me.
Coach.
How you
Hey,
doing?
Coach.
Right.
So listen, I want you to tell the people what's in your cup and what you've been up to.
Oh, wow. Well, in my cup, got a little sunrise. But that sunrise happened to have a little, it's got a little tequila in it. So, it's after lunch over here on my side of town.
Okay.
Okay, why
What
that?
time is that?
Yeah,
Why
what's up
that?
with that? Is that your favorite drink or?
Well, I figured, I was on the morning show, but it's afternoon here. So I figured I would just bring the sun.
All right.
Okay, so where are you?
I'm in Alabama.
In Alabama, y'all. He coming all the way from Alabama.
All the way from Alabama.
And it's lunchtime, and they having tequila sunrises right now, y'all.
I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Good enough. So let the people know a little bit about you and what you do, because we got questions.
Okay. Well, I started out a few years ago as a life coach, but the more and more I got into life coaching, I realized that the problem wasn't that people were having problems with life. People were having trouble with facing certain instances in their life, which I like to call those truth moments. They were living in a proverbial lie. So that's where the truth coach came from. And because I believe that, we live in a world where we worry about everything around us and we forget about self. But if we can't take care of self, how can you have quality relationships? How can you have a quality work environment? How can you have quality of life if you're so broken because you're trying to make sure everything else is around you is fixed? So I just want us to start realizing that lies are real, but the truth truly shall set you free. So I just want to open this up to the world, and I have now created a online university. It's called Truth You, but that's Truth YOU, because you are important. And what it does is it takes my copyrighted approach, which is called the Sims approach. The Sims approach, it focuses on the story. Then it focuses on, once you get into that story, it focuses on finding those issues and implementing change. And then once you get comfortable with your implementation, now it's time to manifest that to the world. And then once you have actually began to do your manifestation process, the last step is just being you. It's called show and tell. No need to answer any questions because they know what you were, but now they see who you are.
Now, are most of your clients individuals, one-on-one, or do you work with corporations also? And what does that look like?
Right now, it's just to the public. I haven't reached into the corporate sector as of yet, but right now, started out as individuals strictly. I love my one-on-one coaching, but the more and more I got into this practice, I realized that this needs to be opened up to the masses. So now I do basically strictly, unless it's a special occasion, I do all group sessions.
Very good. So what has been, I want you to talk about one of your most, dynamic clients, or one of the most dynamic moments you've had helping someone recognize the truth.
Wow. I, to be honest with you, it's actually my very first client. She's now a dear friend of mine. When we first met, she literally worked 12. She's a nurse, so she worked 12 hours a day. And then those other 12 hours, she went home, she closed her blinds, and she went to bed. She did this for years and years. And this not stem from right now, I'm tired. It actually stemmed from childhood trauma. It stemmed from childhood trauma because the best way to not be who you don't think you're supposed to be is to hide. That's the way she saw it. She didn't know she was living up to the bar that was set by her mom and her father. And then, then they had dissension on their side of the fence. So the best thing she could do was hide. She didn't feel like she was important enough. Now, people say, man, it might seem like a very simple thing. But, if you haven't actually looked at your story through your eyes and all you hear is the voices in your head telling you what things you shouldn't do, things you should do, and things of that nature, you'll never really know what your issue is. So after we went through her story, we come to realize that she wasn't fed to be a blossoming flower. She was fed to go to school, get the job, go to work. but she wasn't taught how to explore all of those beautiful things that go on in our mind, you know, the traveling, because what her fear was disappointment of other people. So by worrying about their disappointment, she just put herself into depression. So when she called me that day and said, guess what, coach? I'm headed to Miami. I was like, why are you going to Miami? She said, well, I didn't let you know that my blinds have been taken off and now I have open curtains on my apartment and I'm taking my first vacation and I don't care about who approves it but me. To hear that, especially the first time out the gate, and this person now enjoys her life. She travels. She's not worried about the fact that she may be a single woman or things of that nature. She's making self happy. She's living within her truth now. She's understanding that her happiness is important. And there is going to be sacrifice along the way.
Let's talk truth. Truth. I want to go into some of the things that are going on currently, I'd say in pop culture and Black culture. I mean, I want you to give me what you see as truth.
Okay.
Gun violence in inner cities.
Wow. I have this conversation with myself all the time, and if I'm going to section it off, I'm going to speak about gun violence with the youth, because that's something that bothers me more than anything. And a lot of the youth that I've dealt with, you know, through mentoring programs and things of that nature that speak on these are mostly those that kind of have to raise themselves. So I don't want to say the parents don't know, but the parents are preoccupied. And
with
preoccupied with, you know, a lot of the kids that I speak with there, it's the timing of work schedules and things of that nature. So they're kind of like on a survival tactic of their own. What I would like to see is, you know what, just you got to be truthful with it. me and my wife have this conversation all the time. We want to focus on kids so much that we forget that those kids that we're focusing on still have to go back home to a superior being that they must listen to. So if we want to help these kids, we have to help those adults first, because we're missing the most important piece of the puzzle. We have to put things in place to help these adults to understand the importance of things like real communication, open communication. You know, we can't have our youth afraid to talk to us because they fear the consequences. I like to be able to talk to youth that and not necessarily on the same playing field, but with a trust and a comforting feeling that they can be open and honest with me, and this thing should be reciprocal.
infidelity.
Truth, if you're forgiven, you gotta let it go. Period. I do not care for those individuals that forgive and then continue to beat that person up over what you forgave them for. You never forgave them. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna accept it, that's on you to accept it, but you can't have them relive it every day of the rest of their lives, because it's not fair to that person. Granted, the act wasn't fair to you, but once you gave the reset, you have to reset. It just is what it is. I'm sorry, I can't give you a get out of jail free card because they hurt your feelings. They did, but you allowed them to stay in your life.
Dysfunction in the Black family.
Oh Lord, lack of communication. Period. It's a lack of communication. Why? Because, you know, like with me when I was growing up, the parents didn't work conventional jobs. You know, they didn't work conventional jobs. It's hard for me to speak on it in real time because I'm fortunate enough to be able to homeschool my kids. So my kids get a different lifestyle from the average kid. But just from the stories that I hear, you know, I visited my old middle school, and what hurt me more than anything was I heard some kids cursing out a teacher. And they were right next to the same assistant principal's office that I had to be handled when I was in. And I asked, why is she not moving? They said, because this particular person's parent told us, when he's here, he's your responsibility. Don't call me. Now you talk about dysfunction. Because this person has, this is like a relief. School is a relief. So the kid takes advantage of it because the kid knows, it's like, hey, you got to handle me because my mama at work right now. But that goes back to what we talked about at the beginning. Communicating with the adults before we try to tackle these kids. We got to find a way to get these adults to listen that they have to help the process. They can't expect someone that's a stranger to fix it.
But some of when you talk about the youth and what you're speaking on, some of the issues with the kids is the parents.
Agreed.
So I don't know what that child's home life is like, but I can almost imagine that, if he's at school cussing people out, I'm sure he's seeing that in his household, and that's why he knows it's okay. Because if we all think about when we were growing up, okay, things we could and could not say in front of adults, in front of our parents and stuff like that. But it's almost now, it seems like those values are things that we were taught are not taught in all homes now.
Exactly.
And because where else are they getting, before they go to school, they're spending most of their time at home or in whatever environment they're in. If it's not at home, if it's at their cousin's house, whoever's house, they're in an environment where they see that, and it's okay. Nobody's has told them that they shouldn't be talking that way. And sometimes you got people don't want to be speaking truths. We got a lot of parents out here that don't really want to be parents.
Exactly.
Okay. And and maybe they don't know how to be parents, but they have these kids, and like she said, well, he's your problem while he at school. Well, boo, you had him. You had him for the first how many years before he came to my school. So what did you do with him? And it sounds like you didn't do much with him. And probably to me, that's an example of somebody who's a parent that really maybe shouldn't be a parent. But
Exactly.
we can't fix that because hey.
Here's my question, since we're on truth. During COVID, when people are locked up with their spouses and their kids, and they figured out that maybe it's not the parents, it's the kids, because they don't even like their own kids, or we have friends that wound up divorcing during COVID.
Mhm.
What truth in their life have they avoided to come to this place? Situation has forced people to be face to face with their truth, their kids who they raised or their spouse who they chose. And it really didn't go well for a lot of people. So are you getting any new clients from COVID or during COVID? And how do you help people recognize that part of the problem is them?
Well, during COVID, that was the premise of most of the people I spoke with. They come to realize that they're not really with their significant other and their kids as much as they thought they were. They didn't realize that, I actually do work all day. Then, I might have to go to the gym, at the grocery store. So I'm only getting about 2, maybe 3 hours with my family a day. Now you are at a 24-hour a day basis. Mandatory. You can't do it anymore. You got to be there. And that's when people realize that I don't know this person the way I thought I did.
Mm-hmm.
It's a totally different person from these phone calls, at lunchtime.
Mm-hmm.
Because, hey, I missed you. See, I'm tired of you now. You done got on my nerves. You know what I mean? God, I didn't know I didn't like that about you. Yeah, because you never paid attention to it because they wasn't there. They wasn't there. But I can't see how you could get mad at your kids when they're only a result of what you embedded in them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand my kids, but you must not like yourself. Because you're the one that are allowing them to let other things raise them other than you.
Mm-hmm.
I paid $500 for that such so-and-so. You better get in there and play it. Nah, that's not how it works. Let's spend some time. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a real conversation. Show your kids how to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Because communication will get you through anything. So if you really want to ask what the problem was, they had to start figuring out how to communicate and deal with each other in real time, not just in the past times or the mandatory moments.
You know, one of the things that I've learned is that one, everybody's not always ready for the truth, even when you're ready to face it. So dealing with conflict, you both have to be ready to face that truth, right?
True.
And then the older people get, the harder it is to teach them new skills, new communication skills. And you know, I want to be clear. I come from a very large family, and they're from the South. My aunties, grandfather, and them, they're from down south, and they didn't talk a lot. So when I got older, they didn't talk. I'm sorry, they talk a lot of mess, but they didn't talk about their feelings a lot.
Exactly.
Okay? So when I got older, and me and the cousins were having a conversation about love, and you know, it was like, well, they never said I love you. Like, it's not something that was said. I'm proud of you. If you wrong, you're gonna get cussed out or talked about. But when you do something great, it wasn't like, oh my God, I love you. It was like, okay, go and sit that trophy over there and get back to work. But that's just because that's how they were cultivated, right? It was a very work hard, talk less, show your love, don't speak about it. I don't know if it was because they just didn't know how to, but you knew that it was love based on their actions, right? So how do you get, especially when it's people, young people that need that affirmation, that need those words, that need that affection, when it's so different culturally, even if we're all Black, but culturally, because they're older and they were raised in the South or raised different, but the younger people need this and that to be fulfilled. How do you teach old dogs new tricks when it comes to communicating? Or do you teach the younger people how to interpret it better?
Wow. Well, I tell you, it's a great question. Actually, I lived it. I grew up my whole life. I knew that their love was there, you know, had 2-parent home, and my mom and dad loved each other. And I knew they loved us from the way that they made sure that we were always safe and fed and things of that nature. But you never heard it. You never heard love you, son, you know, things of that nature. So what I did, I wanted that. So I said, I have to be the bearer of change. And believe it or not, now I actually get those I love yous from the older people because they've heard it so much now. Because you're not gonna have your son say, I love you, Mom, and not respond. Because that's the most detrimental thing you could have happen. So by me implementing in the change, so I was the younger part of this scenario, because old people aren't going to change. You know, the one thing that I've heard millions of times is, it worked for me back then, I'm still good. Wait a minute. It worked for me. You know, I was eating it when I was so and so. So I'm gonna keep on eating till the day I die. Yeah, but it's giving you high blood pressure. It's fine.
Right.
You know, but they don't care about that. So something new has to be implemented into that old to start to create the change. And that is people saying, taking the initiative. And don't be so, you know, that's the thing about living in your truth. You get so mad at the fact that they're not telling you that you won't do it. Now it's a double lie. Instead of you just saying, it is what it is.
But now that you say that, if we were talking about, let's say, friendships or marriage, it could be the same thing based on how you were raised. Maybe you don't know how to communicate. I need this from you, or I'm not comfortable doing this, or I need help processing A, B, and C sometimes.
I have a question. I think sometimes too, reason why we're not living in our truths is because society as a whole, everybody's so judgmental.
Yes, ma'am.
So so that's why I'm going back to your first client, you know, and stuff. It's like, and I think with a lot of us, we're worried about what other people are going to think or and being ashamed or something. And that's why we can't live in our truths, because we're so worried about being judged, you know, and so that's why I think it's holding back a lot of people from living in their truths, because everybody's judging everybody about everything, and stuff. You can do something great, but somebody's gonna judge it some kind of way and make it seem like, well, it wasn't that great, it was mediocre, that kind of thing. So it's kind of like, so that's why people kind of don't live in their truths, because they can't, because the people around them in society is not living in the truth, so they won't allow you to live in your truths.
There you go.
But that's fear. That's
exactly.
not, and that's not society's fault. That going back to what he was talking about before, which is parenting or your upbringing, there's a level of fear because you haven't been reinforced with love and security to know that whoever you are and whatever your truth is matters, and it doesn't make you any less than. Those are conversations I didn't have till I was grown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So what I try to do, as a truth coach, I have to actually live my doctrine has to be lived. I can't have two separate lives, because I am seen as always having to be on my cue all the time. And one thing that I did to help with this matter was with my daughters. I have two daughters, they're 12 and 13. Me and my wife started about the age of 5, 6, 7, bringing them in to have conversations, but not the mom and dad to daughter conversations, teaching them how to be honest with themselves, teaching them how to be honest with us and others, and being okay with your opinion not being accepted, but at least you did get it out.
That's really good, because that happens a lot. People don't give their opinions because they're so afraid of it not being accepted.
Exactly.
And right now you see it kind of playing out right now with the whole, the Will and Chris and Jada thing. People got strong opinions on all sides, and then you got people who got opinions, but like you said, they don't, because it's not going along with whatever, one way, they're not, speaking it.
Exactly. Yes.
So what, Mr. Truth Coach?
Yes.
Coach Randy, what's the truth about the Will and Jada situation?
What's the truth about Will and Jada?
Yep. What's the truth?
You got to know what to and not to play with, period. You don't, certain things you don't play with. You already know the sensitivity of the scenario. And I'm not going to say that I don't really believe that this scenario just happened without there being some type of tension before that day. I don't just think that it was an organic joke, pun, however we see it, and he got that upset. I just don't see that. It's just hard for me to see a man dealing with a person like Chris Rock that has never held his tongue when it comes to saying a joke about someone. I mean, Will, he did it about you. You didn't jump up when he said that you weren't worth the $20 million for the Wild Wild West. You didn't jump up then and smack him then. So what was the tension in between there? But at the end of the day, I go back to what I said. Whatever infidelity happened, they forgave each other.
Well, see, that's the funny part about this whole thing, and that's with people. Okay, we had an incident that happened, and now that's why people can't live in their truths, whatever, because they try to be truthful, okay, and be transparent, and now for whatever downfall that's happening in their relationship, everybody wants to talk about that infidelity or whatever, or alleged infidelity. I don't really know, but whatever.
Exactly.
But that the whole thing is that has nothing to do with what happened that night, but people want to bring that in, and that's what I laugh about. It's like, why are people talking about something that happened a year ago or however long ago? This is something that happened tonight, and I agree with you. I believe that maybe something else was going on that none of us will ever know, because nobody's going to come out and talk about it now because this incident don't happen. But I think it was some tension somewhere too, and something that just caused him to snap. Exactly. And then you got people, everybody wants to blame. You got people blaming Jada for his actions, and I'm like, well, how can you blame her or anybody else for that man's actions? I don't nobody control nobody that way. It's like I can't stop. If just like, for example, me and Tonya could be somewhere and something can happen. Me and Tonya really close. Well, if I feel like jumping up back in the fool, it ain't Tanya's fault that I acted a fool. That's on me. And nobody should say, well, it's Tanya's fault. Tonya should have did something. She should have said something. No, sometimes it can't be that. But it's funny how you got all these different people weighing in on it, And here we are almost a week and a half later, and people still talking about it. And I'm one of these people like, when stuff happens,
I don't think Gia is living in her truth right now.
no, when stuff happens, it happens. It happened. And it's over with.
I'm about to tell you why.
And it's like, why are we still talking about this? First of all, it's like, this is their life. My whole thing is, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Hey, whatever happens, happen. I really it's like, but people keep on. I'm like, enough already. It's other stuff going on in this world that y'all to be talking about.
Ma'am.
That.
No.
But,
you are not being honest.
Hey.
You are not being honest.
I am being honest.
Listen, ma'am. If we go somewhere and something happened and I give you the look and your ass jump up and do something, I take responsibility for setting you off. Don't sit there. Listen, especially my sorority sisters from a particular chapter, you don't have to say nothing to get one of us to jump up and act a certain kind of way. All I'm saying is, yes, I did it, but don't act like you didn't have nothing to do with me jumping on that girl because she said something to you.
No, I'm not saying.
Let's be honest.
No, I'm not saying that.
You know who my roommate was, and she would set me in motion to go do something absolutely ridiculous in a hot minute.
Well,
but she's not gonna do.
But that's part of your personality, though, Tonya. That's part of your personality, though. You like you ready to put that's that Northern Cal. Hey. I'm a hella get in your ass. You get off the hook. That's you. So.
But this is the same woman that said, if something is going on with Tanya's child and I'm around,
right,
I'm about to jump in it.
Oh yeah.
So don't act like it's just me, because you will jump in it too.
Oh no, I will. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But see, my whole thing is, I don't want y'all to say Tonya made Gia do it. No, Gia, Gia did it. Okay. Yeah, Tonya, Tonya might have had something to do with it, but she didn't make me, get off the hook. Like I have another girlfriend. We go places. She be like,
I mean, tit for tat.
She be worried. She be like, oh Lord, Gia about to, and I get in you. I will get in you. I will.
We cannot act like the people around us that we love do not set us in motion to do some things.
No, they do.
Let's be clear.
They do. Because look, I'm gonna tell you how mad I be sometimes.
I have done this to my husband. Okay, yeah. I know how to gaslight him.
Oh yeah. No, I know, because I be mad, stuff be happening with Jeff, and be saying stuff and fraternity stuff. I be ready like, hey, look, let's go with it. I be like,
okay. So now that we can all admit that people that we love can set us off, and sometimes even set shit in motion to set us off.
Yep.
Now let's look back at the situation. No, she didn't make him do it, but you don't know what goes on at their household for him to feel like, if I don't do it, it's not popping off at home no more. It's about to be I'm about to handle it here, or else I'm gonna have to handle something at home.
Exactly.
Right.
We have to be clear about that look, because you have given that look. I have given that look. And nobody else can say what goes on in our home to know what that look is going to do to Jeff or Ray or anybody else.
And wait a minute. And Coach Randy, we know your wife done gave that look too.
Yeah, I get it often.
But this is the problem. This is the problem I have with the situation. She gave him the look. He did the thing. And now she's like, I wish he wouldn't have did the thing.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me right now?
Throw him under the bus.
She backed up.
Yeah. Correct.
She backed up on him. Fool got to get his leg amputated.
She did say she supports what he did. She just said she wished he wouldn't have did it.
First of all, you don't need to be speaking on what goes on in your household. We learned that long time ago too. Now, maybe not everything we learned growing up is right, but keep your business in your house. That's right. That part is right. Everybody don't need to know about everything y'all got going on in your bedroom.
Here you go.
This is getting out of hand.
It is. No, it done got out of hand. And my thing is, people need to stop talking about it, because I want to talk about, look, why is gas prices still going up? See, everybody worried about Jada and Will.
That's the truth.
Gas prices still going up. It's like, more the stuff going on. You know, we about to go to war, but everybody worried about, you know, want to chime in and stuff. You know, and just got something to say. You know, it's like and then what bothers me too, everybody acting like they ain't never did nothing that they regretted in their whole entire life. I'm like, cut it out, y'all. Cut it out. You know, we've all done some stuff. We'd be like, oh shoot,
my record shows.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and stuff. But everybody now all of a sudden, we all self-righteous. Okay.
Indignant.
Okay.
But I do have another question, a truth question for you.
Okay.
Because we are a platform that supports women and women supporting women, it's great lip service, but we don't see it put into action as much as we hear people saying it and using it as a hashtag. What is the truth behind us getting behind trends and cliches, but not actually putting work behind those words?
Wow, that's a good question. Well, to be honest with you, our biggest problem is social media. It's more prevalent to a person to be popular than to fix those things that are prevalent. You know, because you know the silly and the things that don't matter is what are making you look so big, and the true problems are being set to the side. That's why we have so much turmoil right now. Social media is our biggest problem. I'm not saying that it's not needed, but it is abused, and it is making where, you know, I love my wife always tells. She said, now stars aren't stars anymore. You know, you think about how different the world was when stars truly were stars, but now anybody can be a star with the click of a button. And that right there, that's what's got us bad. That thing's got us bad. It's got it bad out here, y'all.
Yeah.
It's bad out here.
Yeah. That's going the social media going to destroy it. Is destroying a lot of stuff. And yes, I've always said that, you know, social media, but it's not the truth. That's the thing. That's the thing about it. We're talking about living the truth.
But the thing about
social media is not the truth.
Social media doesn't want the truth.
Right.
You know, nothing wants the truth. You know, reality TV, you're not getting the truth. You're getting hypothetics. Yeah. You know, but you have to think about it. The hypothetics and all this bad that they're embedding in our psyche is becoming the truth. Right. And that's the problem. We're starting to live in this false reality.
That's a word right there.
look, that is the truth.
That's the truth. That's the truth. So look, let the people know what you have coming up, and how they can get in touch with you if they need you, if they have any questions, how they can follow you and stay involved with what you have going on. Because I heard you have something coming up in the next, 60 days, was it?
About 60 days, I have my first book coming out. I'm so excited that I will definitely have that out there on my social media at Truth Coach Randy. You can reach me at any social media platform at Truth Coach Randy. But right now, in particular, I have a 7-day truth challenge that I'm giving away because I want people just to start getting comfortable with learning how to live within their truth. You can find that on my professional Facebook page, and that's at Truth Coach Randy. You can also find my Truth University at thesimsapproach.com. Truth University is a platform that we've created that gives you the whole process. It teaches you how to truly learn how to tell your story so that you can figure out who those characters are. And once you figure out who those characters are, we can start to decipher problems and we can live and work towards resolutions.
I love that. Well, we want to thank you for spending time with us today, for letting the audience get to know the truth doctor up in here, and just having some of these open, honest conversations. So make sure when your book drops that you come back and visit us. You let us know how we can support you. Once you're, a member of the My Morning Coffee family, you're always part of the family. So let us know. We keep our viewers and audience up to date. And we only have people on that we think have something, important to say and share. So what you have going on matters, and make sure that you keep us posted.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It was a pleasure.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
All right. You as well.
What'd you think?
I think that, we need to start living in our truths. It was really good topic. I'm sure his university is probably something good. People should take advantage of it because, again, what we said today, people are not living in their truths, and we need to really probably get to the root of it. Why aren't we living in our truths?
It's tough.
Yeah.
When I was trying to have some healing conversations with my aunt about some things that had taken place, she was not ready to have those honest conversations.
Yeah.
Because truth sometimes is painful, right?
Yeah, it is.
Real truth has a level of ownership. Real truth has a level of forgiveness. That takes a lot. An acknowledgement. We can't really live in a facade of a life, and this had nothing to do with social media. Just
right
in my mind, the life that I built and the person that I am in my mind. Well, that's not the truth. So we have to talk about that in order to move forward. So she just wasn't ready. And in that moment, I recognized no matter how much, especially when there's conflict, if both people aren't ready to deal with the truth,
it's not a good time. To have that conversation. Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, holler back when you're ready. We can do this. But I also can't live a lie. So continuing to progress with some untruths hindering the relationship, it just doesn't work. And in case y'all was wondering who I was talking about, Tari Elizabeth Hunter, she knows how to gaslight me to do things without saying, Tonya, go do this. And so does Gia. And there's a few other people in my life, including my husband, that knows how to give me the look. And then things happen. And then they'd be like, you crazy.
Yeah. Right. We all have people like that in our lives. I have some people like that, in my life. You're one, Jeff one. I think really all my close girlfriends, I'm one of these people. I'm like, bring it. Where's that? And stuff. Even my kids, I always tell my god kids, don't have me come down to the school. I said, because I ain't gonna act like your mama. I said, I'm gonna come down like a true auntie. I said, and I said, I'm not above cutting up. That's what I tell people. I'm not above cutting up. And because you mess with my people, hey, I'm hey,
I'm coming.
Yeah. And look, you can judge me if you want to. But I'll be living in my truth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, I have something for you next week. So, if you're around, pop in, catch a little My Morning Coffee.
Yes.
We'll have some things that we can talk about and some cool guests.
If you're out and about this weekend, roll on over to the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall, the Nothing But Black Flea, and check out some awesome vendors out there.
Oh, you're there on this weekend? Okay, I might come by. I think we got some baseball, but the weather's supposed to be nice.
To your town tomorrow. We coming over there tomorrow to your town.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we coming to check out Frenchie tomorrow.
It's eating time.
Yeah, so clear your calendar. The Sneeds are gonna be in Redondo tomorrow. Yeah.
I'll let the department know. Maybe we can roll out the red carpet or something.
Yeah. Well, no, we don't need to give Jeff the red carpet, because he be getting all the big head and stuff. That'll be another trip.
If he brings some banana pudding cheesecake, I'll roll out red, blue carpet, whatever carpet he wants.
Well, you got to call him out on that. I see Jeff want him kind of keep people. He like competition, I think. So he got to be called out on stuff for him to make stuff. But I've been asking for some stuff and I ain't got nothing. But I think if I, make it a challenge or call him out. So you might need to call him out on that banana cheesecake, Tonya.
Okay. Yeah. Let me get to work. All right, guys. Yeah. We'll see you soon.